Let me straighten up just a piece. There we go. Welcome to Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. I'm Diane Pruitt, your proprietor of all things vintage and super cool. I am opening our newest package delivery from Decoupage Queen. We have some products to put in inventory today. Let's see if there's anything you're looking for so that you can claim yours immediately before it hits the shelves. I love packing paper. It's good stuff. This is a partial. I'm going to toss the box. I save boxes. They're good boxes. This is a partial delivery for a damaged delivery that the post office saw fit to crush. Thank you to all the fine folks at Decoupage Queen for making sure we got these replacements. Y'all are rockin' awesome. David and Megan, God bless. Y'all are doing a thing, and I'm so super proud. While Decoupage Queen might have internationally produced products, please keep in mind Decoupage Queen and Pentart USA, these are mom and pop owned businesses just like us. So not only do we want to support, but you know what we want to support? These are some of the best products. This pouring glaze is life. You want this because it is usable on almost all of your projects, especially if you're doing resin and you want to gloss up your castings. This is the product you want to use. I absolutely adore this. We've used it before. We'll use it again. Look, cracking paste. It's available in two different sizes. If you just want to do a little bit or you want to try this out first, here's your commitment level. If you know how awesome this product is and you can't wait to get more of it, here's your commitment level. So we have these on the table right now, going on the shelf as soon as we're done with this live this morning. So claim yours quickly. Pouring glaze, cracking paste, Pentart products, amazing, amazing tools for your projects. I don't want to say just crafting anymore because it's not all we do. I'm going to tip the light because I have that crazy monster face. Oh, it's not just crafting and it's not just furniture painting. It's that place in the middle where we have found a beautiful combination of products and paint and projects, and it's not just crafting anymore. It is a beautiful combination of creating, and we're here for that. So let's get started. Snowy day. We're definitely not having that in South Carolina today because the temperature is going to be near 90. That's why we have the t-shirt on, and then the temperatures are going to crash again. So welcome to South Carolina spring. Bring a sweater. This is Snowy Day. This is Rethunk Junk Snowy Day. It is a beautiful high white. It does tone under a gray when you compare it to other whites, but it is the second in line in our family of whites, second only to cloud, which is our purest white, and just above cotton, which is our beautiful antique off-white. I added a little bit of water to this because our resin paint is a water-based acrylic, and I wanted to thin this just a little bit. So adding water up to 20% of your product is absolutely acceptable. I wanted to make sure I didn't have too thick a product because this particular container has been on the shelf for a little while. Let's get to this. If you have not seen this chair, let me show you. I'm going to tip the light onto the chair so we have good light cast while we're working, and then I'm going to tip you down so you can take a look at it as well. I started on this chair previously in life and other things, and so this did not get done. My light fixture is just a little bit in the way, so we'll move it. That's as far as it can go. I think we can live with that. We'll move this over. I'm going to have to sit down to work on this. It is an amazing structure. It has the cabrio legs. Let me show you. Look at those legs, y'all. Absolutely stunning construction. Beautiful implications of French Provincial, but almost swan-like at the top. So I started painting this quite some time ago. So we probably better grab our prep and clean it up because it's been sitting on the side in the studio and it is neglected, but not anymore. I'm going to move the ladder so I don't get anything on it. I thought about that before I went live. So Mary, our dear friend, alerted me yesterday that at some point during the cast on YouTube, it goes to private. So I did some studying on it yesterday afternoon, and it's going to do that. It's just a thing that YouTube does. Be patient with me. I am learning how to make it go back public. If somebody has some great advice to offer here, let me know. I do have a streaming software. I'm not currently using it. I've been researching other platforms. You know, we're shifting. We were doing all of our lives on Facebook, and now we're shifting, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to make the shift, but just bear with me. If you miss the remainder of a project, don't panic. I'll get the video shared. I'll get the video unlisted. I don't know how to do it from the beginning of the program, but I'll learn. I'll figure it out. And then there's that streaming software I'm looking at. It's looking pretty attractive. So we'll get to it. Let me get these legs, these arms, and these legs and these arms. I have a lot of prep on my rag, but I'm going to hit these separately. Our prep is our very first step in anything that we paint or stain with our Rethunk Junk Paint by Laura because it's an awesome cleaner. No, it is not awesome the cleaner. It is a fabulous cleaner, and it is formulated to work with the paint so that when you have a project that does not require that you completely strip it, you actually have an advantage because you can spray the prep on, wipe it clean, let it dry, and your surface is ready to paint. It's an adhesion promoter, and it is what binds your paint to your surface. I'm going to turn it around backwards, and we're going to start on the back on the bottom. Now, I have the springs and the strings right here because our dear friend Ruth is healing up from some activities, and when she gets ready and I have this painted, we're going to embark on a journey in upholstering this chair. And immediately the chair takes on a whole new level of beauty. It's so simple, so easy. And it really makes a difference. I like a very fresh, clean look. I will distress something, but if you ask me on a personal level, I'm not all about distressing. I'm about a clean, fresh look. I feel like I work too hard to smooth the paint, make the paint amazing, to sand it back. Although there's some instances where it just looks amazing, it looks fabulous. I do it, but on this piece we're going for clean elegance so there won't be any distressing of this piece. Can you tell the difference already? Is the light helpful? I hope so. Let's see. Welcome in. I hope you are able to watch until it kicks us over to private mode. You should be able to grab yesterday's tutorial. Bear with me, it's Wednesday. I should have this all worked out by Friday, and then we can work forward from there. Are you game for that? Because we're doing a lot of work over here. We're getting ready for the spring craft show here at the PD State Farmers Market. If you've never been, we welcome you to come join regional artisans and crafters who will be at the market on March 21st to showcase their talent and all the things that they know how to do and create. And we will have demos of products, product specials, kits available, and we have a studio session that day where we will be creating some art glass. So please, please come join us in the studio, in the store. Everybody will be here. All the cool kids are coming to hang out. Now, our first coat, just like any other coat that we do, and I've shown you, our first coat is not our cover coat. Our first coat is just simply our base coat, and all we're trying to do with our first coat is get it on there. We don't necessarily need to cover all in one coat. That's not what we go for. So take some time, put a nice gentle first coat on, and then your second coat will be so easy to cover. Get that first coat on there. We've got a groove here across this top section. I'm going to switch brushes to do this back plate because we've got a large surface, and my round brush does a great job. My miracle brush does an amazing job, but I want to cover and fill in right here, and I don't want to squish my good brush, so I'm going to use my mediocre brush. I do love these brushes. They're nice, thin nylon bristled, and they don't have a tendency to come apart when I paint, so I really do like them for that purpose. But I can shred the fibers to fill in holes like this, and then when I wash it, it'll be just fine. And I do have a smaller brush I'll employ. I may want one smaller than this, but that might be, nope, got one. I was going to say that might be the smallest one I have on hand, but I have one smaller, and all I'm going to do is use a really small brush. I'm going to go into this architecture right here. I want to make sure I fill these holes in. The original contrast was great, but it's time to shift that. And we may go back in there with some gold, but if we do, we're definitely going to change that gold. That's a old school grungy green gold, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean that it's an ugly gold way. So let's get these filled in. It's a little tedious, and it's going to shred my brush, and I'm going to have to be cautious about rolling it back around in the paint to try to bring it back together best I can. I don't want too much paint in the holes because I don't want it dripping out, but I need enough to cover a good first coat coverage without there being extra sticking out. I don't like drips and runs on my work, so I try to take the time to make sure it is clean, free of drips and runs. It doesn't take much to do that. I need a water bucket. Okay, and some water for it. I'm going to drop that in the water and let it rinse out a little bit. It'll be just fine. All right, now back to that top section. I'll grab, I think across this top I'll do better with my Miracle brush because I'll be able to get the architecture, and there's a lot right here. Some nice little carvings, that center groove. I've got a little bit of paint damage here that I'm going to have to compensate for. I think I have a plan for that. And let me catch this edge right here I missed. And just like that, we're done with the back. So let me flip this chair around so we can get this part done. And you can see where I came through from the back side to get those holes filled back in. Let's go across this front side and see what we can do here. This is absolutely not an antique. This is absolutely a reproduction, but it is old and it is fabulous. So repainting something that's been painted is not a cardinal wood sin. It's really not. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's just furniture. Although I do not paint everything I have, there are some things it's just not going to hurt a thing if you freshen up. And it'll actually be better for it in the long run. And since I came through from the back side, filling in the little bit on the front side is so much easier because there's just a little bit to touch. And I can do these cross sections of wood on the front and fill in just a little bit as I'm going. I like this Miracle brush because it does such a great job at all of these carved details. It fills in without depositing paint where I don't want deposits built up because I don't want to lose the details of the architecture. Sometimes a square brush will deposit too much paint. And then you lose your detail work. And then over time, if someone else comes behind you and paints, and someone else comes behind you and paints, and so on, then there's no detail work left, and you really lose the intrinsic value of the vision of this chair. We don't want to lose that, so we are going to be cautious about where we're depositing paint. Make sure we're just putting on what we need for coverage and to make the chair beautiful again. This is a stunning, stunning design. I've seen a couple that are similar, and I think I found one that looked just like it, but when I tried to research it, the link was dead and it was just a dead end. So I really didn't get anywhere with that. But they're out there. Do you have one like this? Have you seen one like this? I think it is a lovely, lovely piece of work. But it was too far gone when we got it. And somebody needed to love it enough. So I guess that's us. All right, I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to make sure I don't have any ridges around that framework. Even though this is where the upholstery goes, I still want to repaint those edges where the nail heads go in, just to protect the wood for another generation. Because I feel like it needs it. It turned yellow like a lot of old whitish colors do. When Ruth was here a couple weeks ago, she reminded me that it needs to be painted before we upholster. So here we go. If you're interested in learning hands-on, doing a project together here in the studio, check out our studio tab on our website. We have lots to offer. We do have a studio workshop coming up on the 21st. We will be creating art glass. We will be upcycling, recycling, beautifying, and creating something special for you, for your home, or something you can gift. And I love giving you the tools necessary, the knowledge, if you will, for you to carry it forward and do more work. Or maybe you're just interested in a one-time project. In either case, that's just fine. I'd love to have you join us. I'm not sure that I made that live on our website, but I'll do it when we get done. All right, I'm going to go around the rim right here. And then come up underneath this arm. And around the front. Quick and easy, isn't it? Quick and easy. Quick, easy, and beautiful. The end result is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to make sure that all the wood is covered, conditioned with our paint so that it will last for another generation. And then someone else can paint it something else. It won't hurt my feelings, I promise. But you see that dirty green gold that's there? That's not what we're looking for. We want to cover that up, and we want to start fresh. We may use pixie dust and we may use classic gold. I know if you saw the posts on our Facebook page about the cupboard, please know I want to do it as badly as you want me to do it. I want to see it as much as you want to see it. But some of these pieces need to get finished right now. So I've made it my mission this week that we're going to clean out the studio one piece at a time. And that's what we're doing. You've got to clean up to mess up, right? So right now I'm in the cleanup phase, a little bit of spring cleaning, and I have a little bit of work to do on it before I even get started. Like there's the pre-work. There's a couple of spots that need a little wood fill. I want to find the right hardware so that when we start that project, we can zoom right straight through it. Because I love that piece, I love the way it looks, and I can't wait to make it an amazing study in art. All right, we're going to tip the chair so that I can get to the legs. Not sure if you're going to be able to see the legs. And I really can't put you up on the table today. So let's see if I can pull you forward a little bit. And tip you down. See my messy mess? That's all great supplies right there. Let's see how that works. And if you can't see, you've got to trust me that these legs are going to look amazing. Let me get all of the grooves from the carving filled in. I'm going to carry it all the way down to the bottom. We have a really good first coat going. By the time I get all the way around, it will be dry and ready for the finish coat. And yes, I just said the finish coat. I may not get it done in this segment, but it won't take long for me to finish it. And I'll have to turn the chair over to get the back side of the legs, so we'll get to that just shortly. Let's go across this front edge and make sure we have good coverage across the front of the chair. Covering up all that old yellowy, aged finish. And making it absolutely snowy day beautiful. I know we're probably all tired, especially in the Northeast. We are probably all tired of snow days. And I say we because we had several this year already, and we don't do snow days, y'all. Anywhere that we end a sentence with y'all, we're really not keen on doing snow days. I know up in Tennessee in the mountains, snow days are kind of mandatory, aren't they? We're not in the mountains. We don't need snow days. I'm going to touch a couple of spots right here. Of course, I could wait for that second coat, but impatience gets the best of me. So, let's tip it back down, and I'm going to spin, and I'll tip it sideways. Maybe you can see good here. And I'll do, oh, I bet I can get to that leg right there. I can. There we go. Always helps to look from a different perspective, doesn't it? Let's come up from the bottom here. Put a little too much paint on, so I better spread that out. I love these lights. They have given me enough to keep my eye on where the paint is, where the paint's not. Make sure you have good lighting when you're painting. And really, move your piece of furniture or move around it so you have a different perspective of what you have covered and what you don't. Check your ridges and your edges, and make sure you don't have drips and runs. This chair feels better already. There we go. Love it. All right. Let's spin one more time and make sure we have everything coated. Got to get that back leg and the side of this arm and the side of this upper. We'll add another finish coat to it, and we will hold on embellishing the details until we are positive of the fabric we're putting on this. Or at least until I have the opportunity to consult with Ruth one more time before we do the upholstery. She might tell me to go ahead and do the detail work. Spin it to win it, and guess what? We are complete. One full coat of Snowy Day, just like that, and we're done. I'm going to go ahead and hit this support right here because it was originally painted and now it looks ugly and we want it pretty. I want to get that burlap off of it. Ouch. It's pokey. There we go. And we'll do this one as well. I'm going to get the burlap out of the way because I'm not trying to paint the burlap. And I know we're going to have to put fresh burlap on it, but I saved the original anyway. There we go. So this is a painting week, and we are cleaning up the studio one project piece at a time so that we can move forward and get that beautiful East Lake cupboard started and finished. I think we can do it next week. Today's Wednesday. If we can get this chair finished tomorrow and ready for upholstery, then I believe we could get started on the cupboard. I have paint all over me now, and whew, we did that great. It's only 9:35, so 30 minutes, top to bottom, front to back, side to side, all the detail work in Snowy Day. Hey, good morning. Thank you for stopping in. I truly appreciate y'all. Not really sure how to adjust YouTube yet, but I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. I'll add that to my list of things to do this week, and we'll figure it out by next. Thank you for being here with me. I am really looking forward to reupholstering this chair, but before we can reupholster it, Ruth told me I had to finish painting it. So let me get that done. I'll give her a call today and see if I need to do the detail work. If that's the case, then that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. I have one more bench right there. Whoo, we're clearing some space, y'all. I'm excited about that because I have some more projects I want to get done. Y'all have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Diane Pruitt. I'm the proprietor of Two Girls Treasure. We're right here in Florence, South Carolina, just a half mile off I-95. Come see us anytime. We're open Monday through Saturday from 8 till 6. And you can join us online anytime at twogirlstreasure.com. Scroll through our fabulous vintage inventory. Find your favorite things. We do offer shipping through our network of private shippers nationwide. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. We're going to keep cleaning up these little loose end projects. Bye now.